Alright, looks like we're live. Sound check. Hello and welcome to another Tactics and Chill session, where we're doing tactics every day because that's good for us. Feel free to say hello. Hello Santosh, welcome. Yeah, good morning to you. We're going to start with our warm-up while everybody joins in. How's everything going over there, Santosh? Okay. I hope that everybody in the chat is having a great time. Yeah, going well. I had a fairly productive day, I would say. No like crazy deliverables, but I'm setting up a website for the chess project that I will be unveiling soon, and so I'm learning how this website manager works and getting ready to go live. And there's a lot of moving parts, but I've worked out most of the details. That was all today, so I'm fairly content with that as my progress for the day. I am looking forward to having a complete end-to-end chess website solution. I think that will be really nice. And that's just the beginning of, there's more to come. I'll be keeping you all posted. Okay, so this move comes to mind. They take, I take. Yeah, thank you. I think it's gonna be cool. I guess another thing I could do here, I can attack this in various ways, right? Oh, so if I play something like King f7, it's not going to work because of Queen d5. So let's say I play Rook f6 and they play Queen d5. It's still not quite working, I think. Oh no, it is working. So if I play Rook f6 and they play Queen d5, I take here. The warm up is working. And if I go here and they take and I take, I'm threatening to take this. So they have to play again, like Queen d5 and then King f7. Okay, that doesn't work because of Queen f5. There's probably something very simple here that I'm just missing. So let's say Rook e8. No, still something simpler should be there. Yeah, what am I missing here? I think Rook f6, Queen d5 is the start. No, Rook f6, it's not Queen d5. They have to take, and then Queen d5. And that's where I'm still unsure. Oh, King f7 works because Queen f5, the bishop's on f6. So this seems right. Okay, they didn't even go for that. Just giving the piece straight away. So that's good. So far, no major errors on the warm-up. That's good. Knight e6 looks correct. And when they sack the queen, just have to throw in this check. And take the queen and take the rook. That seems right. Mate in 2. How's everybody else in the chat doing? How's everything going? We're going to do some puzzle racing in a little bit, so stay tuned if you want to participate. This is just a warm-up while we get everyone in. We throw the check so we can take the rook with check. Queen g2 looks pretty good. We throw the check so that we can take the knight. But is there another move in between so we don't lose our knight? No, this is it, because when they take the knight, there's bishop d4 check. Bishop c4 looks kind of interesting, but it's not much. I think we have to take and then play bishop c4. This we should be just pushing through. So if I go here and they take and I take, they can't catch it with the king, but they could catch it with the knight. They're just in time. So I will push this way, and they will not catch it. Alright, what have we got? They want to play e4, of course. I think rook f1, threatening mate, looks pretty good. Rook f1, they would play bishop e6, covering both of these at the same time. Hello Lotad, welcome. Good to see you in the chat. And if I play queen f6 at that point, they would play rook e8 maybe. Feels kind of right. I'm gonna go for it. Oh, they went for this one. Okay. This looks like bishop f4. The knight can't take it. They would have to play probably king e4, because if they play king f3, then knight h4 at least wins a queen for 2 pieces, or yeah, probably just queen for a minor piece. And if they go here, then we have queen b1. That should win. Oh, queen d2 is me. Not in one move. They can go here, and then we take the knight. Okay, so there's the warm-up failure, 29. All right. Hello, Nino. Welcome. Still doing a little warm-up here. We'll try to go a little faster here. Get us back to where we were. Which way is this pawn going? I always get a little disoriented. That's good. Way ahead of them. Let's trap that. Check. And checkmate. Take that with check. Take that. We're gonna do our puzzle race thing pretty soon. Okay, so I take, they take, I take, and they can't stop the promotion. That's the idea. Hello Pacha, welcome. Thanks for tuning in on Twitch. Okay, so they're gonna take on D2 with check if I don't do something cool, so here comes the cool move. That's check, so I take it. If I take that bishop, they play bishop b5 check. Do I care? Hello Zoe, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. So if we take and they play bishop b5 check, what happens? We have a lot of pieces. We would be up 2 minor pieces. We could probably do better than that though. Oh, king e7. Simple king e7. Just protect it. Alright, rook h4, bishop takes, queen h3, and then queen f2. And we'll cash in for the rook. Does it matter how? Let's see. The obvious like puzzle rush type move is queen takes g2, but just to be diligent. If we play bishop takes, they have queen e6 maybe as a resource. So better not to take any risks. Alright, so if we take with the queen, they take, and then this knight is kind of an extra piece. Okay, so I don't know how I feel about this. I think I'm missing something obvious. So if I take with the bishop, and they play queen e6, I can play king h8, and there shouldn't be any more. Oh, there'll be knight f7 check. So let's say king h7. Okay, they don't have any more light square checks. Okay, so queen e6 is not an issue. If I take and they take, what is the move? Is it queen h4? Let's say king g1 for safety. Okay. Hmm. What do we see? What is going on here? Is this just the warm-up craze where like it's obviously winning and I'm just not awake yet, or what? Let's see. What have we got? I'm looking for another resource. I feel like after queen takes g2, there should be something here. It's probably very obvious. Just have to wake up and see it. Well, maybe we can eliminate moves. Maybe there's no other move except bishop g2, and I can just play the next move on that basis. Other viable moves. I think queen g2. All right, let's say if we can rule out queen g2. So if I do this takes, and they take, I'm pretty sure that I'm... Okay, maybe after they take, I play g6, trapping the knight. And the idea is rook d8. I think that's good enough for me. Okay, so that was wrong. Only 20. So we take, they take. All right, where's the obvious move? It's got to be here somewhere. Maybe just queen f6, trapping the knight immediately. They play this, and then we play rook d8. This is a little bit hard, a little bit tricky. Santosha was suggesting queen takes e3. I did consider that, but it looks like not enough compensation to me. For example, they could play like rook f1, and if now we start going after the knight, it doesn't work. Like if they go here, then block. The knight's going to come out on f5 or f7. This is the new option because of rook f1. And if we play rook d8 to try to get it, I think they'll whimsically skedaddle away with this move. If they go here, actually, we might... Okay, maybe they don't have to play knight f7. I think they could play knight f5 instead, attacking the queen. Hello, DS Germany. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Let's do another puzzle streak as we warm up before we get into the puzzle racing. Okay, so there's a mate in one. I'll try to go fast again as usual. No mate, so we take the rook. Win the queen. We have a few people in the chat with tournaments coming up, so the tactics are hopefully going to help everyone. Okay, here's a double attack. Took me way too long, but that's what the warm up's for. Mate in one. Okay, I'm going to promote, so I'm okay with this. Check, checkmate. I'll take that, and I'll take that too. They can't protect the bishop, so they lose it. Trading into a worse pawn endgame. Tisk tisk. They are outside of the square. Throw this check here for the mate. Anybody else have tournaments coming up? Some people in the chat have one coming in like 2 weeks. Some Louisiana local people. And in the US, we have a bunch of national events coming in the next couple of months. Usually April and May is kind of dead around here, but then it pops off eventually. Like in June, there's the National Open. That's a big one. I'm hoping to play that. And World Open is right behind that in July, and that, of course, draws people from all over the world. That's a major event. This looks like we check and then win the rook. Tactics time. We trap the queen here, maybe? Okay, they have queen e2, so rook a1 just wins the rook. And I'll take the piece back, why not? If we play queen h6, then there's king e8, rook g8, king d7, and that it looks like the buck stops there. So I will opt for queen takes h7, threatening mate. Oh wait, they have their own checks, so maybe not. Yeah, I would get checkmated if I play queen takes h7. So actually queen h6 is the only move. King e8, rook g8, king d7, and then queen back to h3. With the idea that when they play king c7, we can take on c8. So that is all kind of required, more or less, just by elimination. Every other move leads to checkmate for our side. We have to give some forceful checks. Alright, so we're going to take that knight and stop them from promoting, ideally, like so. And they get this lost rook and pawn endgame, which is actually a little bit difficult to win. The 4 versus 3 can be tricky. WSG Brow, yo, can we play a game? I will take a challenge from you if you send me a casual seek. That's like at least 5 minutes, so I can still talk to the chat. You can hit me up on Lichess. Our main content today will be tactics, but you know, I do like taking an occasional challenge. Okay. Here, knight to f5 wins the queen. This should be a double check. So are we concerned? I don't think so. I think we just take that and take this, and when they take our queen, we take the rook. My username is ChessCoachRobert. I'll paste it in the chat for you. probably just take with the bishop so that we win a bishop. And we should be able to take this. They have f5, but we have a better attack. Queen d5 runs into knight e7. But after we move the king, they take our queen, we take their queen. So we win a piece. But we're down a piece. So I think we take this first. And then take this piece. Alright, we're taking this. They should take with the pawn because of knight d2 threats. And we take on c4. I think that's maybe not forcing enough. I think knight a5 is better. Okay, that challenge is coming in. Casual unlimited. Let's put a time limit on it just in case. Something like 5 to 10, something like that. If you don't mind. Alright, let's do that. Okay, this looks like... Oh man, there it is. Well, good timing for the challenge. I might just... yeah, let's do this casual one while we're waiting. Alright, 1 second you guys. Just switching scene to make it look good. Oh, and there we go. I always have this issue. 1 second. Just bringing it back online. Let's adjust that, make it cozy. Get our board and the clock. Sorry, just 1 second. Thank you, for Taital, for waiting. Alright, turn the clock back on. One day I'm going to figure this out, guys. I promise. Alright, let's start. Any requests for first moves from the chat? I have a trollish tendency, so my inclination is something very far away from the center. Maybe I'll start with this, just so we can get it rolling. Requests for second and third moves. Dealer's choice. E5 coming up from Jan. Thank you for joining. Okay, so I will prepare E5 then. You'll see. A6 from Jakester. Okay, maybe I can combine these moves. E5, A6. Any other requests from the chat? eNetho, thank you for the comment. Can I turn up my mic? I sure can. I appreciate the feedback. I always have to remind myself, how do I even do that? Alright, how's that mic audio? Always looking at self, welcome. Alright, so we have knight c6 request, and we have d6 request and a6 request. So I'll start with a6, and we'll see about knight c6 and d6, how I can work those in. Alright, let's do knight c6 as requested. Alright, and it wouldn't be a true trolling game without knight b8. Here comes d6 as requested, and probably it's too late for me to incorporate any other unfriendly suggestions, so we will be rolling with this. Little c5 never hurt anybody. Alright, there's the tactics time. I almost played b5, but lucky me. Alright, I'm going to go for the full Monty, be very greedy. Jan was hoping for an exchange with the f3 knight. Yeah, that would have made too much sense. Alright, now I can play knight f6, or I can play pawn f6. I think these are reasonable moves. I'm gonna opt for this one and see where the knight takes us. Yeah, oh no. WSG. How's everybody doing tonight? I know a bunch of familiar names have just joined, so welcome to everyone. Pawn. Okay, he's requesting pawn. We're doing like a full hand and brain game at this point. Here comes pawn. It says e5 coming. Okay, so I have to work in e5 somehow here. That's gonna be tough. Or maybe e5. Maybe saying e5 is coming from white. It could be. There's e5, following the recommendation of the chat. I have to take it, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna give this one a whirl. See how that suits me. Let's get the pieces out. I was lucky enough to snag a piece, so just try to play actively, trade down, so on. I think this position is probably fraught with peril for both sides. Even though I have an extra piece, can't get too comfortable. Definitely it's a weird situation where I don't have a lot of development. Yeah, scary diagonal. Until it's not. You know, once that diagonal kind of closes up, things will be back to normal. So I'll at least get this rook out of danger. A little prophylaxis never hurt anybody. If you brush your teeth in the morning, you use prophylaxis. So in good keeping with the philosophy of brushing your teeth, I will definitely protect my rook from future danger. And this looks like a good chance to activate my queen, get it in the game. So I think the main thing that went wrong for white, I think my position is solidly better now. The main thing that went wrong for white was playing b3 when I had a bishop on g7. That's a thing that can be a little bit difficult to accomplish. If you really, really want to play b3 against the bishop on g7, you have to make some preparation so you don't lose any of the pieces on these squares. c3, b2, and a1. Okay. I'll be a little bold here. Okay, I don't see any major source of danger, so I might... What will I do here? I think I'll play a little initiative stuff. Sack a piece, get some development, get down tonight, something, something. Alright, going for gold, using my active pieces. Regrettably, I didn't really get these guys in, but it's okay when the pieces are coming out with a strong threat. check. I have to do that. Here's another check. I will take that too, just so I don't die. If you insist, I will move my king. My rook is hanging, so Austin Wakana, welcome to the chat. My PhD is in oceanography. Oh, that's interesting. I think I'll just keep taking. Alright, good game. Probably seeing these threats with the queen and the knight. Good game. Yeah, I think the main thing in this game was allowing bishop takes c3. That was really the whole story. You know, everything was very good before that. If you wanted to play b3, I would recommend keeping the bishop back. Like instead, on this move, you might castle, for example. Let me see if I can. Yeah, here's the analysis board. You might castle, and after I play a move, let's say I still play c5, for example. You could protect the knight more in some way, maybe like this, and only then you might play b3 and bishop b2. And another thing that you can do is you could choose not to put the knight on c3 in the first place, and you can play b3 at this point when everything is still closed up. And if I play c5, you just play bishop b2. So that would be a better way to accomplish that without losing a piece. Okay, I'm going to return to my regularly scheduled tactics for the moment, and if that challenge is still there in a little while, I will definitely take it, but first going to work in some of the puzzles that I planned for today. And if people want to participate, we will be doing a puzzle racer imminently. I think I'll do like 1 or 2 more runs of the puzzle streak, and then everybody can join in. Yeah, good game. Thank you for playing. The Eneto, welcome to the chat. Sack 2 pieces to get a rook, and then get mated in 2. It happens to all of us. We've all been there. All right, I'll try to go fast so that we can get to the other fun things. This is it. Sneaky. Emphasis on the word try with respect to going fast. I'm not always the fastest person. The fastest person award would probably go to some of our viewers like Russian Bias, who is much faster. Okay, we're gonna take this one. Okay, if I take with the rook, okay, there's gonna be some difference if I take with the bishop or the rook, so that's what I'm deliberating on here. What's the difference here? They both look good. So if I take with the rook, and they take with the rook, I take here, and that actually leads to mate. So maybe that's the better option. A little concerned though, if I take with a rook and they just move their king away, I am still down a rook, so I might just go with bishop takes. Yeah, lucky me. That was a difficult defensive move for them to play. Okay, this looks good. Look at this weird Weird king. It's like this is almost the only legal move, so I'll take it. They're forcing me to do what I want to do. I think knight c7 is the best. Bunch of things are hanging here. So if I take, they take, and I take, they take, I take, they take. I don't think I won anything, so I would take, they take, I take here. They take, probably I'll just move my king. Yeah, that seems better, so we're gonna do this. This is about winning that rook. I might have gotten that puzzle before, in fact. What's the deal with this? Yeah, theme puzzle. A lot of these puzzle streak things, they're very like typical starting puzzles. Like one motif, maybe a combination of two motifs. Not too crazy. Okay, this is just a double attack. Took me forever to spot it, but there it was. This, I'm looking at queen g2, rook takes, pawn takes. If queen takes, then bishop f3. And we are up in exchange. Oh, but then this is better, this is mate. So still not calculating too clearly. Alright, here's mate. Some back rank situations here, perhaps. So we throw this check, they go here. What? No, I don't think it's that. I think we're gonna go for material this time. I think this so I can win the queen. Oh, I almost played the wrong move. We don't want that. Knight e7 to win the queen. And I'll take that bishop. Let's go for the queen. Win that bishop. That should make the rook endgame a lot easier. Maybe g3, winning the knight. Is that enough to win the game? Let's see. I'm down a minor piece. But it's a big attack after that. Yeah, the attack on the king is what makes that work. Okay, I think this one is takes, takes, bishop h6. A little bit tricky to see. We're gonna go for the promotion. Knight e7, bishop takes, rook takes, bishop takes, rook takes h8. That looks pretty winning. Yeah, that's good. Okay, this is better than last time. Already up to 34. Sancho says it's changing white and black and it's confusing. Yeah, in the Puzzle Storm or the Puzzle Racer, they always keep the same side, I guess, to minimize that possible confusion. I'm thinking this rook here, they take, go here. After some rook move, like maybe here. Check, they go here. Okay, that doesn't look like anything. There's probably something simple. What could it be? I'm still kind of stuck on that. Oh, it's probably the other one. Yeah, that's correct. And now when they move the rook, it's checkmate with the other rook. Alright, who could it be now? I think maybe queen f3, king e1, and then queen h1. And they don't have any special checks. Okay, black pawn's going this way, I'm going that way. I better create a pass pawn before something bad happens. And the trick here is probably not to step in front of the pawn, because if I go here, they go 1, 2, 3, I go 1, 2, 3, but they go first, so they check me. So I think I have to go here. No check, please. This could be just going for mate, like we go here, and if they take the knight, then we go here, renewing the threat. And I don't think there's any way to guard b2. They could give a check, but I'll probably just move. Alright, just to fact check this. So I do this, they take. I go here, they check. I'll probably go here. Yeah, they don't have this because there's a pawn in the way, so that's the right thing. Okay. If I take this and they take with the queen, I can trap their queen with bishop b2, because after queen a2 there's rook a1. So I'll take the free piece. Alright, I'm feeling queen e6, king h8, knight takes e8. Is there a draw or something? It could also be queen f7. I think check, and then queen f7, because queen f7 guards f4, so no more checks. Also creates the threat of queen f8. They check me, I'll just keep running. Thank you. And that should win the game. A little bit tricky there. Alright, so d7 should win the game. Why not? And if I play king f4, they have rook d2. That could be annoying, so I'll just prevent that. There's a lot of stuff hanging here. It's danger zone. Rook e8 is on the table. Queen a is on the table. If rook e8, king f7, I don't see the next check. So I think queen a8 is kind of required. Yeah. That makes sense. And then we'll just sack and take the queen, and that should do the trick. There's some danger there for them. Jake says that he's been doing his own streak while watching this in the background, and he just lost on 28. 28's a pretty good streak. That's probably around like, what, 1700-ish? In the last couple days on stream, I've lost a bunch of streaks that were around like around like 20. Okay, Okay, so bishop a6, I think they can only play rook c7 probably. Maybe rook b8. Rook b8 should run into rook d8. That's definitely losing a piece. Losing an exchange, but that's probably fatal in this position. So they have to play rook c7, and we could take, and then they take, and then rook d7, king f8, or what have you. It doesn't look super winning. It's like definitely a good position. Like rook takes a7 is probably better for white, but it doesn't scream like this is the answer to the tactical puzzle to me. So what are we looking for here? It's probably something more interesting, like maybe rook d8 straight away. They can't move that, so they would have the same problem, rook c7. Is there a difference with the rook here? Probably that rook g8 leads to mate. Oh, they just gave it up. Mate threats are good. c5, king d5, rook d7. Looks like mate. This has got to be winning. Queen e7, king f8, queen h8, king e7, bishop g5, king d7, bishop f5. Yeah, that's lights out. Knight f5 threatens queen takes g2, so they have to play queen f3, no other move. And we could take and then win the bishop on c3 with knight e2. Yeah, that's probably enough to win because it's even material. Okay, this is tempting. Like maybe we take and then take. It's a little contrived. I was thinking something with rook f3. One second. All right, what's going on here? What's the answer? It's probably takes, and queen c3. Just winning a piece, because if they take the rook, I take their rook with check, and that's not good for them. Keep it simple. We can look at all kinds of complicated things. It's just not necessary. Okay, I could take this and win a pawn. Is that good enough? I could probably start with this so that if they take with a piece, I win a piece. That would be nice. I don't see any major counterplay, so I'm going to try that. Okay, hold on. So maybe there's a direct win. No. Oh man, it was knight d5. I wonder what's wrong with this then. So I thought they would just take with a pawn and lose this. Of course, this was the first thing that came to my mind, that if they take here, I'll just take back. And let's see, engine evaluation. Can you guys see that? Not quite. All right, it says that this is winning for black. So that was clearly not the idea. It was knight takes e7. Okay, so I missed something very important. I guess it makes sense that black is totally winning if you win only a pawn, because these pawns are very strong. Should probably become a queen. All right, so 47, that's probably a good enough warm-up. I think it's time for Puzzle Racer, so let's switch. Oh, let's see. We have one person with a challenge waiting, so if he's still there, we could get one more game, and then we can do our puzzle racer. In fact, um, okay, he's offline, so I think that absolves us of our responsibilities. All right, here is the. It says I can't start the race. Hold on, let me refresh this page and give you guys. Oh, I think it's just because you guys haven't joined yet. All right, there's the link in the chat. Click on it to join this race. Oh, let me get my stuff right while you guys are joining in. All right, Lion Rocker, welcome. Santosh is here, Nino's here. Amicable Judge Mosquito. Okay, what a name. You really just can't make these up. Jakester, everybody's in. Who else is in? We've got a lot of people in the chat, a lot of lurkers here. Anybody want to jump in the line? Do some puzzles here? I don't think there's a max number of people racing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6 people. Guys want to pump it up? Jump in. You don't even need an account, I'm pretty sure. I think it just gives you a name like Amicable Judge Mosquito. Alright, going once. Going twice. Anybody else? Alright, play more. Welcome. Anyone else? 5, 4, 3, 3.5. Okay, that was the wrong direction. 3.5 is not less than 3. 2, go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And they're off. I can't let that happen. There we go. That was a little bit tricky for a second. That's a couple of queen sacks in a row there. Get tricky. Okay, there's got to be something really good here. How about this? Mate wins the game, something, something. Okay, so I take, they take, I go here, they go there. That doesn't win. So, what's the answer? Shoot, what's the answer? Oh, of course, there's another rook. It was invisible to me. Check and checkmate. Okay, that was a pretty major loss of time. They are trying something here. What are they up to? An amicable judge got 56. Nice job. Lion Rocker got 38. Santosh got 16. Nino got 49. Also a very good score. Jakester got 13. Playmore got 14. Alright, let's hit that rematch. Yeah, nom 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 indeed. Alright, here's our next race. Jump in. Eric Blair, welcome. Okay, we're about to hit that button. Any last minute additions? Alright, let's roll.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
That was bad. Not good. Oh no. The warm-up didn't work. Panic. Okay, so that's pinned. I'm gonna trap that. Nice. Oh, I should have just taken the rook. I thought that was mate. Amicable Judge got 48. Nice job. Lion Rocker got 32. Eric got 17. Santosh got 17. Jakester got 17. That's a magic number there. Nino got 28, and Playmore got 10. Yeah, Jake. Oh, for anyone who didn't catch it, Jake is keeping a spreadsheet of our results. He elected to do that because that's the kind of person that he is, and I, for one, am looking forward to checking out the data analysis after we get a statistically significant set, which for most purposes is about 30. Or Nino, Santosh, the Judge, Jake, Lion, Playmore. Anybody else? Yeah, isn't that kind of a nifty thing? I don't know how Jake is efficiently gathering this data. Maybe he's not. It's just a very high effort meme.
10,
Maybe Jake should make a video about it.
8, 7,
We do it
6,
behind the scenes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
0, blimey, eh? Okay. It's been a while since I've seen that motif. Do I really have to? Okay. Okay, maybe we don't lose the game. There we go. Oh, I should take the bishop. Dum dum. I thought they would do something else. That's a classic motif right there. Nice. Tie with Amicable Judge. Nino got 29, Santosh 15, Jake 16, Lion 32, Playmore 11, and Eric 11. Alright, here comes the rematch link. Alright, Jake confirmed he is not doing it efficiently. Screenshots and then check it later. Is that the method that we're doing? That sounds like the most like shooting from the hip way of getting all the data.
10, 9, 8, 7,
Sev7,
6,
welcome.
5, 4,
Thank you for joining.
3, 2,
and feel free to join
1,
our
0.
Our runs here at your leisure. Okay, there's a mate. Oh, this is a win the queen situation. We love that. Gotta go fast. Okay, what could it be now? Could it be, yeah, one of these? Womp. I missed the whole point for sure, but it's important to keep the pace. 61, a tie with Amicable Judge, twice in a row. I think 61 is probably in my top 5 scores so far since I started doing this a little bit about a week ago. Lion Rocker got 33, Nito got 37, Santosh 13, Eric 8, Playmore 14, and Jake 12. Nice job, everyone. This is definitely a way to engage with chess in a very fast way, shake off any rust that you might have before you play a tournament or do any kind of serious chess. I like to do a little bit of this before playing even regular games, so there's no like surprises in that first round. Sometimes you just open your phone and play a game. It'll be like, okay, that first game was a scratch. You can kind of avoid those scratches by warming up with some simple puzzles. Okay, anybody else? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 people so far. So he's got the popcorn out. I can see. All right, Eric jumped in. Anyone else going once, going twice?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
At some point, I should probably do some like real chess. Okay, so I'm playing black. It took me way too long to gather that. All right, it's okay. Everybody gets a head start. That's fine. I'm fine. And they're off. Really? They chose the queen? Wild work. I feel like my mousemanship, if that could be a word, is not very good. I always feel like I'm on a slip and slide with my mouse. Oh, that was checkmating myself. That's the opposite of what I'm supposed to do. That's another good motif. Love to see it. Alright, this one would have been rook c3 with checkmate. 58. 73, that's a great score from Amicable Judge. Santosh got 20, Nino got 40, Jakester got 18, Eric got 25. 73 is top notch. I've heard of people getting scores like 100 before, but I feel like at that point you're edging into like having memorized the problem sets. Alright, there's a link for everyone. Alrighty. Any last minute stragglers? All right,
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
So swift. Okay, I have to find a precise move here apparently. Oh, rest in peace me. queen. Oh, that's too bad. Running out of time here. Okay, 53. Amicable got 63. Santosh got 26. Jakester 19. Nino 28. Eric 22. Nice. Jake said, do you click and drag or click and click? I'll do a mix. Yeah, I do a mix of the two as well. I find my click and drag extremely error prone, so I try to avoid it. So I'm usually moving the mouse like twice as far as other people are, just because I hate dropping a piece on the way to where I'm going. Alrighty. Anybody else? Alright, I'm gonna press the button.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Eric's coming in
2,
last minute.
1,
Glad you
0.
Hey, I just got this puzzle. Checkmate wins the game. Samesies. Oof. Get that queen. Get the rook. That's my rook, thank you. Win that rook. Win another rook. Let's move this. I have to take that. Move. No time. 50 from Amicable Judge, and I got 46. Santosh 21. Jake 23. Nino 46. Good score. Eric got 25. I might pivot and try some of the Puzzle Storm in a minute, just because I haven't done that in a while. What's been going on with you guys? Doing any chess activities recently? How many of you guys are going to real life chess clubs, brick and mortar clubs? I know a couple people are. Like I know that Nino goes to a local club in his area. Who else? I think Jake was thinking about starting a club. Jake, have you taken any steps towards that? Alright, we've got a couple people in. The link is there in the chat. Let's wait a minute. I know it's unfair. I ask a question, then I'm like, let's start a race. Eric joined in. Okay. Nino's here. Anybody else? I have a feeling that Jake might be typing a response. Oh no, Jake's there. Okay, let's start.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Alrighty. Get all the pieces. Oh, the old misclick there. Womp womp. For this one, I just have to not blunder my queen, right? Free queen. I'm here for it. Defensive move. I feel like I haven't really seen any serious defensive moves in these puzzles so far, so that's cool to see. Oops. 46. Amicable Judge got 49. Santosh got 24. Eric got 19. Nino got 31. Jakester got 14. Good. Alright, so Jake says that he wants to start one. Here comes the link. He's not yet taken any steps. Not sure where to host meetings because he's not at a university with a student center. Yeah, at Rutgers that worked out pretty well, right? There was an institution to support, and there was a clear place to do it. Coffee shops are tremendously popular as meeting places for chess. They don't work that well for a place to play a serious game. Usually you'll want to partner with like a library or something. Libraries often have rooms that you can book for free, but of course they're very popular, so it can be challenging to get a consistent time slot. But if the libraries have like public areas, sometimes that can be an appropriate choice. Where else is good? I mean, coffee shops and libraries hold down a lot of social gathering places. Parks are risky just because they usually aren't like a weatherproof situation.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
yeah, also rec centers.
5, 4,
gyms.
3,
some gyms
2,
will have like
1,
non-gym
0.
activities involved. Come on, I keep clicking and dragging and then it's not going anywhere. Too fast, too furious. Maybe not losing that. Oops. Let's win a piece. There's no mate. Okay, and save the piece. There we go. Well, well, well. Oh yeah, we're gonna hit the double attack there. Womp womp. 33, that was pretty low. 47, 25, 21, 20, 15. Okay, guys. Let's get that next race. Yeah, I think there's still probably like enough social public places to hold chess. Coffee shops are usually pretty good about it if people are consistently buying drinks and snacks and stuff. I sometimes find that people who attend chess clubs don't really want to do that, which I think is a little bit unfortunate. You have to kind of encourage them, like, hey, we're using their space, we're taking up the room. Be nice. Okay, let's start the race.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Okay. That looks right. was probably the check. Check instead. Hop on. Getting a lot of them wrong here. My whole goal is to be just super consistent, so not thrilled about that. Care more about getting them correct than how many I get. Oh, that was not good. Too hasty. It's been a while since it was just like a normal pin. Okay, let's block the check. Oh man, it's right there. Okay, so 49, Santosh 28, Judge 56, Jake 20, Nino 33, Eric 26. Nice. Oh, and while we're here, I do just want to remind you guys about some of my upcoming stuff. On Sundays, I'm going to do things a bit earlier, starting at 5 Central Time, and it'll be variety content. So I've updated my Twitch schedule to reflect that, and you guys should definitely tune in for that. This is more like, this is the bread and butter. This is what we're going to be doing every day. The variety content, I think, will be top notch.
10,
you should definitely attend.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Sounds like Jake's out there making money moves. Get the queen. Get the old checkmate. I do not want to just guess here. But what could it be now? I think it's that, yeah. And the idea is this. Womp womp. Get that rook. Get the bishop. Win the game. Get the queen. Get the rook. 43. Amicable got 51. Santosh 28. Jake 21. Eric 25. Nice. Oh yeah, churches are a good one too. Thanks for joining, Jay Barth. Yeah, churches and libraries are pretty common. Also rec centers. I ran a lot of my first chess academies out of churches. They will usually offer up a space for a fee if you're making money, and sometimes they'll offer a space for free if you're just chilling. All right, we've got Santosh, we've got Judge, we've got Jake. Who else is joining in? Santosh said, are the puzzles repeating? A couple of them have repeated, but I'm recognizing them from previous sessions. I haven't gotten any repeats today, I think. Okay, let's start.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
At some point,
5,
I would like
4,
to
3,
diversify the puzzles a
2,
bit in terms of what we do
1,
when we're doing tactics
0.
and chill. I do think that some of the formats are not very chill though. So I will have to ask you guys for your opinions about what we should do. In the past, I did a lot of content where I was solving really hard puzzles and taking my time, but I think that can sometimes be like a little bit sweaty feeling, and people want to do things together, and this is the one format that is super, as a team together. For puzzles anyway. But it'll eventually run its course and people want to see other stuff, so I know that I do want to see other things periodically. Oh, that was surprising. Oh, I thought I was going to get the rook on h8. Wow, 3 in a row. Horrible. Let's get this bishop. 43. Really choked there. Getting 3 wrong in a row was rough. So Judge got 51, Santosh got 16, Jake 16, Eric got 27. So like for example, let's say that we switch and we do like Puzzle Storm. Puzzle Storm is very entertaining, but it's not something that we're all going to do together. I might do a little bit of this while we just chat. Definitely entertaining. How much do you guys like it when we do the long format puzzles? Gonna put it up for a vote, So this is like a one-man puzzle race. Yeah, I think it is kind of like that. You get bonuses for doing things right. Like there, it just docked me 1,000,000 points for being wrong. I think with the puzzles, for the puzzle racer, it doesn't really care about whether it doesn't give any bonuses for being, it just rewards being fast. All right, what's the deal here? Just take this. Yeah, Santosh wants to see more hard puzzles. I'm inclined to agree. Maybe we'll just make sure that we do more of those in general. What is this? The knight really has a hard time with that rook pawn, huh? Oh, I thought that was winning the queen. Oh, if I do that, I lose, so I have to go here. Oof, I dropped my rook on that last one. But you know, all good races must come to an end. .2%, not terribly accurate. Jake says, I forget if YouTube chat has polls, Twitch chat does. Maybe asking on Discord after stream is a good idea. Yeah, we could definitely do that. In fact, let's see if we can get a couple hard puzzles. Go straight to puzzles. Here we go. We've done enough warming up, so we should be able to do a couple hard puzzles here. Let's make this bigger. All right, we've got ourselves a, let me see if I can change my settings real quick so that you can actually see the rating so we know what we're working with here. This should be somewhere in the 2200s though. 1 second. Just kind of fix those settings. Geez, if I could just click on anything correctly. Here we go. All right, what would this be? This would be under display. Maybe game behavior. If this takes too long, I'm going to stop, so please just bear with me. All right, reach us where to show display puzzle ratings. I think it's under puzzle dashboard. Okay. I am going to stop doing this now. We're going to just deal with it. We don't know what rating this puzzle is. It's a mystery. But it's somewhere around the rating that I have, which is 2273. Okay. Let's do some harder puzzles. Well, first of all, this bishop's hanging. That's pretty convenient. But we're down a piece, so that probably will not rescue us unless it comes with some major threat. It's more likely that we could produce a major threat with a move like rook e8. If we play a move like f5, they have... See, I can't click for anything today. Queen e6, that's probably not going to work out. Rook e8 is a strong candidate move. Bishop c5 is on the docket, although encouraging bishop e3 could be dubious. Actually, if bishop c5, bishop e3, rook e8 should win, should be very strong, if not winning. Bishop c5 seems right. So let's say bishop c5 and if they play king g3, then we take on f4 with tempo. That's probably going to help. Bishop c5 if they play king f3, perhaps. Yeah, so bishop c5, I think they have to play a move like king f3 or king g3. Probably king f3. Maybe after rook e8, they're in danger. I really feel like I should be getting more pieces out. I mean, bishop c5 is hanging, so there's very few moves that don't lose the bishop. So I'm inclined to just play this and see. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's hit him with the rook e8. I have to play this, and that's the answer to this 2295 puzzle. See, everyone, chess is easy. Easy chess. You knew it, I knew it, we all knew it. All right, now I'm 2301. This puzzle is probably somewhere around there. If we play something like queen f2, king h2 looks like it protects them pretty well, and then e2 doesn't work because of queen takes f2. So I'm more inclined to try something like queen d6, preparing e2. So they would play maybe f4. One of the main ideas here is that after a move like queen d6, if they just move their king, then queen f4, g4, queen takes f3 should be winning. The threat is queen f2, and it's pretty unstoppable. So that's why it's f4. And let's say we just play e2 at that point. If they get a queen, then we get a queen with check, and that should be winning, because if they move their king, we keep checking them. If we play, yeah, let's compare with e2 as the immediate move. Let's say they just get a queen. We get a queen 2, they play king h2. I guess we have queen e5 at that point. But I don't think it's winning, because if we play king h1 and they play, queen back to e1, or, just for sake of argument, some move like queen d1, they could always block with this queen, and that doesn't seem that winning to me. I think it's important to try to provoke some weaknesses before we go ahead with this pawn push. So, if we throw this check and they play f4, that looks considerably weakening to me. Because we'll play e2, and if they promote, we promote. And when they play that king h2 move, then this is the move that we have, then we play queen takes f4. That's a big difference. So what I'm looking for here is, if we start with this and then play e2, what could go wrong? Anything? I guess they could try like queen a1. So I think queen a1 and king f2 are some of their responses. Well, no, king f2 runs into e1 queen, so they only really have queen a1. But then we have queen d1. And if they trade down and play c8 queen, then we have a little unsure. Well, maybe let's see if we can rule out e2, because I think the only two ideas are queen d6 and e2. So let's say we play e2. They get a queen. We get a queen. They go here. Queen e5, king h1, queen wherever, e1 or d1, it doesn't matter. Queen g1. Is there any reason to think that this should be winning for black? I don't really think so. Like, we're still down a pawn. Still have an unsafe king. I think we're required to try queen d6. No. Alright, so it was e2 after all. Really? This pathetic response? That's crazy. Hold on. So what was the problem? I really thought they would just go for this. We'd check. They'd go here. Oh, queen f4. This is clearly winning. So this was kind of dumb. I should definitely have gotten that right. Need to hold myself to a high standard here. So the line that I thought was critical here was queen, queen, king h2, and I thought that we only really had this resource, but we also actually have this move. This is also like pretty transparently winning. So let's just leave that in the past. Alrighty, new puzzle. I'm close to wrapping up time. It's almost closing time. What do we got here? Hanging piece, pin piece, relatively even material, unsafe king. Like queen a4 hits the knight and hits this weak spot. How do they even guard d1? I think they're just losing a piece. Is there a trick? It doesn't look that tricky here. Okay, here's some kind of trick. I don't feel that tricked though. Like if I just play knight e6 and they throw this check and I play king e7, I'm up a piece, just happily up a piece. And knight e6 is required because of queen e8, so I think that's simple. Yay! Alright, we got some checks here. If they play any piece to f8, we just take it. We're down a piece though, so we would really want to see, well, any piece that they put on f8. Okay, no. So if we throw a check with a queen and they play bishop f8, we cannot play queen f8 because that's not enough to win the game. So that's the critical line. If we choose any of these and they play bishop f8, we need some kind of comeuppance. Probably no move one comeuppance because we need some checks or something. It could be that we need to do some move in order to take this hanging rook on f4. The main issue with just taking the rook in the first place is queen c1. So we could prevent queen c1 by just playing queen c8 first, and then after bishop f8, taking on f4. Is there a second defensive option for them? I don't think so. I think that's the answer. Just stop queen c1, take that rook. They can throw a check all they want. It's my party, and I'll check if I want to. Also, good game on all the puzzle races so far, guys. It is always a pleasure. Alrighty. We have the better pawn structure. Good king activity, potentially. c3 is a bid to try to trade down. If they have to play a move like king takes c3, maybe that'll give us some time to do something useful. I think making a dash for the king side doesn't really work. I also don't know if going after the a pawn is really helping much. So let's say we take, they go here. We go here, they take. We go here. If they play king b2, we take this pawn, and that's a big success. So they actually can't play king b2. So they might play like, let's say they play g3. They might be running out of moves. We play king a3, threatening the pawn, but not like seriously threatening the pawn. If they move their king, like if they play king back to d3, then we would play king b4, winning the pawn here. That's pretty serious business. And they don't have time to go like collect these pawns, because as soon as they go for that, we're going to push this pawn. And so they have to play g4 pretty much, and we could just play a6, and now they're out of moves. So the direct approach of king d3 at the very least doesn't work because of king a5. So let's say we take this and they don't do that. Do they even have another move? It doesn't look like that, so I'm going to go ahead with this. King a5. Normally it's a little bit risky to put your king in here like that, because you might run out of pieces. Like if your king gets stuck on a2 and they do this thing where like your king is trapped and they're always right next to you, you can't really squeeze your way out. But since we have all the extra waste moves, we can escape such problems. Okay, so I am clearly not in the business of taking that pawn, unless this is a stalemate puzzle. Anand Rajan, welcome. Oh yeah, I just saw all your answers. Yeah. D takes, alright, sorry, I was just reading the chat again. I think this might be a stalemate situation, but hard to say. I mean, we are kind of winning, so let's just look at the obvious move. Let's say we take this. What would they do? Yeah, I think black should be winning here, even with our king in this weird position. Can we eliminate all moves and just play GF5? Probably, right? I don't see any other reasonable move. Unless we're losing. Unless GF5 is a losing move. That's the only reason why. And I don't think GF5 could be losing, because if they start coming over here to try to take some pawns or something, we're going to win this by pushing. And if they try to force our hand, like if they play, so if it's GF5, King B3, and then A2, and King C2 for the stalemate lulls, then we'll just play H4, and they have to move their king, and we get King B1, winning the game. So, seems straightforwardly good. We have to push this. Oh, we don't have to push this. We have to go here. Interesting. So here I thought this, because after this we go here. Oh, they have King C1. It's a simple oversight. Yeah, for some reason I thought that they had to play this one, and of course we would get out. But again, this is why we're doing the tactics, so we don't do this in a real game. Anand says, I hate chess. And here we are, once again. We take, they take, we throw this check, they play this. We play knight g4, king g2. Doesn't seem working. How about this? We take, they take, we throw this check, because if king h3, then queen h5 is mate. So they have to play actually king h1, and queen h5 is mate in 2. So that is our answer. Nice. Yeah, endgames do be tricky, Santosh. That is absolutely correct. Yeah, rook takes h2, no think. If I had $1 for every time I sacked my rook in some stupid way in a real game and lost miserably like 2 hours later, I would have several dollars. Okay, here's another endgame scenario. Probably the answer to this, if we had to just, you know, do the whole no think thing, we would just trade rooks and get it over with. Maybe we could sneak an extra move in here, because the rook should be beating the bishop in this endgame. Like, let's say we do this, and then they sack it, just because it's the most forcing line, and then they go here. We'll stop it easily with the king. So we could get an extra move like this. We don't have to start with rook f6. They would have to play a move like this. We'd take. Depending on the circumstances, they'd probably take with the king or the bishop. We don't know, but they're going to take back somehow. And then if they took with the bishop, I guess it doesn't matter what they take with. Whichever one they take with, we're going here and hitting this pawn. And it becomes sort of tenuous for them to continue. For example, let's say they took with the bishop, and they can play bishop d8, holding onto the pawn. Maybe at that point we play c4, takes, and then d5. I'm not 100% on that as the continuation, but I do think transferring the knight from g6 to a better square is super reasonable. And just for sake of analysis, so let's say we take this um, and then go for the and then go for like knight f8. I'm not sure we have any other serious resources. If they take with the bishop, knight f8, king g7 transposes. So I wonder if it's important to prevent king f6. Let's say that we do this. They go here. They take with the king. Maybe there's some secret way that the king actually is good on f6. So we throw this check. What did they do? Probably king e5, knight takes b6. Are they secretly winning? Let's say e3. Threat is e2, which would win the game. King d3, king d3 and king d1 are available. So let's say king d3 for the active play. The king is tied to defending the d5 pawn. They will lose if they give it up. So I don't think that king f6 is a special opportunity. I guess the other possibility could be that knight f8, rook takes f8 is not lost, but that seems like an insane thing for black to willingly go into. Yeah, they should be lost. We would bring our rook and take this. That should be easy enough. Yeah, what is the difference? This is a hard question. Sometimes just like whatever you see first is fine, and if you just played it, it would not be a big deal. But in this case, I don't know. I like to check. If I have time, I like to make sure because sometimes the difference tells you what's really going on. I think knight f8 is it. Anand is oh yeah, my Jinder, welcome to the chat. Yeah, thank you for mentioning this. So I think knight f8 is on the docket. We should start there. Oh man, really, it's important. So let's say we do this. It was not that. It was only knight f4. Okay, that was the move that you guys were talking about. I didn't really catch that. Well, it wouldn't really have been me probably if you mentioned it, and I played it. Yeah, knight f4, winning the d pawn. That makes a lot more sense. That should have been the priority target anyway because it's such a vulnerability. Yeah, thank you for joining and making that suggestion. Okay, I think maybe we got one more, and then maybe we'll do a raid on Twitch. This one looks a lot like just rook g5, like kind of straightforward. Maybe the trick is that they don't take the rook, because if they go down this path, then queen h6, king g8, and queen h7 wins the game. So after rook takes g5, let's say they play the only move, king h8. There's probably some stupid thing here, like rook g8 check, because if rook takes g8, then queen takes h6 wins the game. So only king takes g8 is viable. And after queen takes h6, so it'd be king takes g8, queen takes h6, threatening mate. They would probably just go ahead and take this bishop, and it would be very, very sad. So, all that being said, rook takes g5 doesn't seem to work. Rook g5, king h8, just a quick double check. There's like no other forcing moves, right? Like let's say we could try this rook g7, perhaps. King takes g7. Nothing's shaken there. Very tempting. Very like tactics time. But not working. I don't know. I could be wrong. If you guys see something, rook h5 is also there, Santosh. Yeah, that's true. But after rook h5, they have queen g4 check. I don't think that's working well for us. So I'm looking for like trapping the queen as a resource. The fact that they have queen f4 is perturbing. Moves like bishop e2 and rook e3, they run into like queen f4, queen g4. And you could, of course, play in a kind of swashbuckling way with rook e3, queen g4, or rook g3, hoping for stuff like queen takes d4, bishop h7 check, which would win the queen. But even that, after rook g3, they could probably play queen h5 themselves. And again, the tactics don't seem to be completely working out. Yeah, on rook g7 is not it. I was looking at this, but after rook g7, king g7, like where's the next check even? Or whatever it might be. I just don't see anything. So bishop e2, queen f4. That's another issue. Unless we have some kind of amazing next move that I'm not seeing. Even rook e3, queen f4 doesn't look that great. It could also be something ludicrous like rook g5, king h8, and then it's not even a checkmating attack. Like we just move our rook. Yeah, queen f4 does not exist after rook g5. That's true. But let's say we do rook g5, king h8. Like, what is our rook move? We looked at all the rook g file moves, so maybe we have, and rook h5 also doesn't seem to be there. Maybe it's actually something in the other direction on the fifth rank, like rook d5, for example. So we take rook h8 and then rook d5. If they take it, then queen h6 is mate. If they play queen g4, then king h1, and there's no more checks. Rook g8 is coming. They would have to play like maybe queen h4 in order to not lose on the spot, and then rook takes d6. I think rook g5 is the right first move because we have more than one enticing response. Like maybe I think rook d5 looks totally reasonable, and maybe after rook g5, king h8, we could consider another move too, like bishop e2, and then we just go after the h pawn slowly. For example, they can play queen e4 for the defense. So here's the line: takes bishop e2, queen e4, and then rook h5 here, and h6 is difficult to defend. It's hit twice. Like that seems pretty clearly good. Let's try that. All right, committal. We have to choose between rook d6, or sorry, rook d5 and bishop e2. I think bishop e2 is stronger, but just fact checking again. So rook d5, queen g4, king h1. Oh, I think my headphones are dying. Yeah, I think bishop e2 is probably it. All right, just a quick check again. Sorry, just need to check. Rook d5, queen g4, king h1. Threat is queen h6. Yeah, I think bishop e2 is clearly good. Really? It was rook d5? It was neither of them. What a plot twist. Oh, knight e4. Yeah, that's a good find, Santosh. So it was neither of those things. Maybe just straight away. No, straight away doesn't make sense. None of the above, huh? This is a 2289 puzzle, so not even that high rated, but the first move is sort of self-evident. That probably helps. Maybe it really is. No, that doesn't make sense. Rook g7. Yeah, all these moves that we considered are not part of it. What is the move here? Just rook e5 or something? Like, what is going on? Maybe it's d5, rook f5? No. Rook f5, they'll simply play knight f5. I considered bishop to h7, but not like seriously. It doesn't make sense to me. If we just go far away, that also doesn't. It's not forcing. It's not doing anything. Rook g6 is not it. Really? Rook g6? Oh, I see. So we can take. That's a good eye. Queen g6, and then it's mate. Okay. Well, that was a nice place to finish. I think we'll round up here. Thank you for joining, everyone. This is another good tactics session. For everyone who's on Twitch, feel free to suggest someone that we could raid if you have any favorites who are live right now. Otherwise, I'm just going to go check it out. And of course, you all can look forward to some of the upcoming content on Sundays, which will be more like variety stuff, different from the tactics that we've been doing on a regular basis here. Alright, I'm looking for who we shall raid. Is anyone I know live right now? Let's raid Trinacupid. I have not raided him in a long time. Alright, let's raid him. Prepare for the raid. Anand says, please get a meme soundboard. Oh, that's on the docket. There will be a meme soundboard. Just you wait. Alright guys, let's start this raid. Oh, it says can't raid him at this time. Maybe his stream ended. Okay, we need to raid somebody else. Let's find a random person to raid in our chess category. Yeah, maybe his raid's turned off. Good point. Maybe he got some bad raids. A lot of these so-called chess streams are just playing other games. So let's raid Ajedrez con Raymond. That seems fun. Alrighty, thank you for joining, everyone. We're gonna raid Ajedrez con Raymond on Twitch. Oh, maybe we can hit up Andres next time if he's live. Alright, raid is starting. See you next time.